Okay, ready? It's raining outside. It's raining outside. It's raining outside. It's raining outside. If I open it, can you hear it? Now I just want to sit on the porch. Okay. It's recording. And I have enough data. It's not going to stop right in the middle of this. No, okay, it's fine. What I like most about this shot, the way that I have it set up, is the fact that it exists. It's a shot, and it's a way to begin. Hello, my parasocial pals, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Chloe Payne, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Today, I want to talk about little accomplishments and celebrating them instead of beating oneself up for the idea that shit should have gone differently or better or sooner or faster. Or the last couple of weeks I've been doing a lot of recording of other similar types of moments in videos. I'm glad to be taking the moment to sit today to just put the thoughts on record for myself before I have another mental tailspin and talk myself out of it. Maybe if future editing Chloe is super cool and smart here and wants to show off the things that future editing Chloe has been practicing in terms of how to edit videos, maybe here will be a quick montage of the various attempts that I made the last couple weeks to record various other forms of this video. Maybe? Let's do this. Wow. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that is a very fun makeup look though. Oh wow, look, they figured out how to turn the camera to horizontal. Or maybe not. But yeah, I'm happy to be able to take the moment today to get these ideas on record because I do actually believe that it is a good thing to be able to stop and celebrate the little accomplishments. The big mental back and forth that's been happening with me the last few weeks is that on a good day, in those moments, it feels, of course, like very rational and makes a lot of good sense to be able to say, well, yeah, maybe none of those videos that you've tried out so far have ultimately led to like a finished product in that moment. But all of the little adventures that you had trying to make those things led you ultimately to the thing that you ended up creating. And every little bit of effort and progress and learning and practice and all that shit is good, just in its own sense. And it doesn't need to lead to anything like concrete or final in order to still have like merit in terms of having been time well spent. And the other big mental block that I've been beating myself over the head with for the last 2 weeks is just wanting more time to sit and be creative and work on this YouTube channel, these vlog ideas, the various things that I want to talk about here and on the Patreon and work on and learn about. And it's just a fun little internal temper tantrum thing that happens for people as adults all the time but you want there to be more time to be able to work on the things. And there's not always more time unless you carve it out and make it for yourself. I know rationally, for my, the sake of my own brain sanity, there's a hummingbird outside. Ooh, it's really high. Why are you flying up that high? There are no hummingbird feeders up in that tree. Okay, I'm not going to be distracted by the hummingbird. I can do this. Not being distracted by the hummingbird. Ah, it flew away. Okay. Yeah, I know rationally, like for my own sanity, my own sense of edification, I know that a big part of why I set myself the goal of doing the Patreon, the last video that I did, a sort of like little bit of like house cleaning on my channel and my creative space online. I know that the reason that I set myself the deadline that I did to get that stuff done by like the end of March, by the time of my birthday roughly, was because I'm heading into a very busy spring. And I knew, just in terms of shit going on in my personal life, getting ready to move, and a lot of really wonderful but time-consuming opportunities to like travel and see friends and family and stuff. It's all great stuff that's going on, but I just burped. It tasted like Brussels sprouts. It was really good. I should say what I just said one more time so that there won't be a burp in the middle of that sentence. There are so many birds outside and they're so fun, but they're distracting. Yeah, I know that the main reason I wanted to set myself the deadline that I did was because I was going to be busy for a while. And the whole intent that I had in just getting sort of like the first roadblock out of the way, first roadblock to remove from my set of obstacles will be, well, there's already a Patreon built, and you already have a way to begin to start telling people about it. There's already a YouTube video on the channel, at least one, that can sort of like, you know, summarize for yourself and for people that you want to talk to about it, sort of what you're working on these days. And isn't that great? Isn't that a great place from which to begin? So since you get those initial things done, Chloe, now calm down a little bit and don't beat yourself up if you end up busy for the next little bit and not able to keep on consistently working on the channel, the creative stuff, everything as much as you might like to, ideally. I know all that rationally. And on a good mental health day, it's easy for me to remember, Chloe, little accomplishments are still awesome accomplishments. Be excited about them. Don't beat yourself up wishing that they were bigger accomplishments. And don't beat yourself up for imagining that you should, could, would be spending more time, scheduling your limited resources differently in order to prioritize this project more, your other creative endeavors more. Because, you know, ultimately the other things that I'm doing right now contribute to the overall package of what I want to be doing creatively as well, right? You can't make YouTube videos if you don't have an apartment to live in. You can't be a creatively fulfilled person if you're not also spending time with your friends and your family and, you know, nurturing the relationships that make you a fucking human being. I know all of those things rationally, but of course, all those things that feel so clear and so certain on a good day are just as easy to get turned into, you know, pessimism fodder on a spiral day. It's very easy for, it's been very easy these last few weeks to find myself in a cyclical, repetitive spiral of the reason I don't have time to work on things is because I'm a disorganized piece of shit, and how dare I ever endeavor to be creative or make anything. And then I don't make the time to make anything, and then I get to feel like a piece of shit for not making the time to make anything. And that awful self-fulfilling prophecy is also completely unnecessary, because the fact of the matter is I'm just doing the best that I can with the resources that I have in terms of a finite number of hours in any given day or week or month, right? And I just shed like one little hair. That hair just fell right out of my head. Hi. You really only like make a wish for like eyelashes, huh? So this is a different, maybe this is a huge wish because it's a longer hair. Awesome. Well, we got that taken care of at least. Thank goodness. So yeah, there's not too much more to really reflect on within that topic. Just, I'm glad to be able to take the moment right now when I'm having a pretty good day with liquid sunshine, rain falling outside, and the birds making me happy, and wearing my favorite comfy sweater. I'm glad to be able to take the moment now to sort of cement for myself what I actually know to be true, which is that I'm doing my best and really grateful and really happy about the other things that are filling a lot of my time right now. I know that I'm really excited about the goals that I have for my creativity, for this channel, for all that stuff moving forward, and that one of those things that I'm most excited about is that when my new sort of home base is established in terms of moving, then I think it's going to be a new opportunity to restructure my schedule and reprioritize, consistent creativity, consistent, I don't know, productivity in terms of like actual finalized videos here on this channel, or more songwriting, or more fleshing out of, building a Patreon community. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I'm really excited about having the next chapter involve some dedicated, structured, scheduled, regular, consistent focus on all these efforts. And I know practically that the thing that needs to happen before all of that can happen is finding a place to live. That's kind of important. So, in the interest of having this be a little time capsule for future Chloe watching this, here is your accountability buddy version of you from the past who's having a good day and is able to take a deep breath and remember that you're doing enough. Everything is okay. The world isn't going to burn down if you're like not posting a fucking, makeup declutter video as soon as you might have wanted to in a perfect world. Everything is still going to be there when you have time to get to it. And in the meantime, everything that you're working on is necessary, and you deserve to feel good about what you're doing within it. Especially when there are legitimately all of these little accomplishments that have been coming up the last couple weeks that feed very directly into the work that I want to do here with the creative stuff. First and foremost, we have our first patron on the Patreon. Future editing Chloe, put in whatever fun little celebratory, I don't know, fucking fonts and fireworks and celebratory edits and whatnot make sense here to celebrate. The name of our first official member of the Patreon is Hiker Steve. Woo! How exciting! And that's really, really cool. We're definitely, I'm going to continue to try to flesh out exactly what, the tiers look like in terms of like, I want to make sure that members of the Patreon can like get recognition or credits or something like that in like, videos moving forward. So I don't know if that's going to be maybe like a more structured end card or like credits process where it gets listed all the time in future videos like that. But certainly for this first most momentous instance of having our very first person sign up, I wanted to just take a moment to thank Hiker Steve here in the context of an actual spotlight in a video. And it's really cool. What a surreal thing to, it all feels very message in a bottle to make stuff online. And then, when you get to watch even just the small amounts of views somebody like me has, when you get to watch like small amounts of views trickle in, when you occasionally get a comment on something, when you occasionally get a subscriber, when you occasionally get someone signing up for a Patreon, it feels very like, oh, there was someone on the other side of that ocean who actually received the message that I put in that bottle. How weird. I didn't really think about that. I don't know if you can get the impression from the way that I've been having, basically just a little check-in with myself in the form of a video. A lot of this work is very much just for my brain, and it's very validating to have other people get anything out of the things that I am just saying for the sake of my own brain. So that is a huge, tiny accomplishment and feels really, really cool to reflect on. Yeah, I think that more than anything else right now, it feels good to be able to celebrate the tiny accomplishment of like a good mental health day, of not treating myself like a piece of shit, not beating myself up. And I'm glad to be able to sit and cement that, memorialize it here in the form of this video so that it can be something for me to turn back to in the future to remind myself, Chloe, you're doing enough. And the things that you might think are not enough right now, when you're able to look back on it and give yourself more credit for everything that you're doing, and able to see how all the little accomplishments ultimately in hindsight did build up to a period of time or a project or a thought process that you felt good about, then you'll realize that all the things that you were spending your time on the whole time, it was all worth it and okay, and you didn't need to be beating yourself up so much about it the whole time. Your little accomplishments are valid. You deserve not to treat yourself like a piece of shit for doing literally your best. So I'm going to try and walk into the rest of my day maintaining that and carrying it forward and not losing it too quickly. I know that I will continue to ebb and flow and have that back and forth as we all do. Come join Hiker Steve on the Patreon if you'd like to be momentous. Sign up number 2. There's only one opportunity to be number 2. And then actually, a fun fact, after that, there's only one opportunity to be number 3. And you might not see this coming, but surprisingly, there's only one opportunity to be number 4. And then the really exciting thing after that is that there's only one opportunity to be number 5. If you would be interested in some mediocre pictures on Instagram, or the adventures of an aging 36-year-old cool kid on TikTok, or the gay ramblings and memes of myself on Tumblr, then I invite you to come hang out on any of my social media spaces. I am at ChloeThePayne on all the things. And as always, I'm also available for all of your commission songwriting needs. You can send any inquiries to me at ContactChloeThePayne@gmail.com. I think that's all until next time. I'm very excited about the little accomplishment that it has been to film this bit right now. This feels like a good sort of button and next step. Thank you for being along for the journey. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Goodbye to you. Oh, by the way, future editing Chloe, did you remember to figure out how an end card works? Do. Is it an end card, baby? Yeah. Is it an end card, baby? End card. Awesome. We did it.